So logical operators are actually used when there are actually more than two conditions. So you have to compare and make sure that you solve that problem first. So the next thing we are going to look is the NOT operator, which is actually the opposite of the AND operator. Then we're going to look at the comparison operators, which are actually greater or less. Then you also have less or equal to, then greater or equal to. Then we do also have, I think the NOT operator is used in other programming languages. That's the exclamation and equal sign. So we're going to start with the first AND. So these conditions has to all both be true, and not as of the cases of the NOT operator whereby the other condition is actually doing the opposite. So the first thing we want to do is actually, let's say, assign a graduate. So let's say graduated, then we're going to assign it to a variable of a student. Student maybe like just graduated. Then maybe like as, okay, let's just define booleans here. So as graduated, and let's assign it to true. Then maybe the student had good grades. So let's just say has good grades. So I want you to also note the way I'm naming my variables. So they must be meaningful and short and descriptive. So we want to check for these two both conditions. So what we are going to say here is if the student has good grades and has graduated, then we want to offer him a job. Else go back to the university. So you'd say if the student has good grades. Now we use the AND operator to actually make sure that both of the conditions are true. So let's say has graduated. Then we print to the user that you are now on board. So welcome to maybe like, let's say welcome to Google. Yeah. Then maybe if there's no other condition we want to check for, then going for else. Then we want to tell the student maybe like go back to school, yeah, for you to pass. So if these both conditions are certified, then welcome to Google will actually work and will be printed. Else, if one of the conditions is met and the other conditions, so let's say this one is false, maybe the student has not graduated. So we can now say that, hey, you can now go back to school because the AND operator takes only both true values. So if you run this, it says go back to school because one of the operations here is false. So if you now assign this a true value, then maybe clear the output, then run it. So you find that now, hey, welcome to Google because both of the conditions are now true. So the next thing I want us to do is the NOT operator. So let's say we are hiring, but we don't actually mean if the student has graduated, as long as the student has skills. So we can use the operator NOT. So we can use this one to false. Now we can just leave it to true. So that now the NOT operator will take the other conditions which are true. So let's say and the student has not graduated. So let's see what will actually be the output of this. Oh, sorry. So to make sure that we use the NOT operator, we have to add the AND. So if the graduation, if the student had good grades and maybe he has not graduated, so let's say student has not graduated, then print welcome to Google. So I'm going to run it again. Wow, you see now the program is welcome to Google because we don't mind if the student has not graduated. So this means it has the NOT operator. So if the student has not graduated, then you can still welcome to Google. So if this condition was now true, this means the student has graduated. And let's say we don't take graduates in our company. So if you now run the program, hey, go back to school because you have graduated. So do not graduate. So that's actually something very simple about, straightforward about the and the NOT operator. So we do also have comparison operators. So maybe if you want to maybe like calculate the age of a person, so maybe like to give a license or driving license to a person, so we can say for age, give it maybe a variable of my age is so 25. then we're going to use a logical operator. So the greater or equal or even combine both. So let's say if now if the edge is greater, of course it has to be greater. So no, let's say 1 year. So that should be the minimum. So if it's greater than 1 year, and so this way now we're using the logical operator, and age is less than 18, because you cannot give let's say 17, 18 can write. So if that is the condition, then you can print like not qualified. Now you can say now else if the age is greater or equal to 18 years, and so we are adding an AND logical operator here, and the age is actually less or equal to, maybe like, let's say we are giving only driving license to people between the age of 18 and 25, then you cannot print like qualified. Then the next thing is we now have else condition here. Else you are too old. So this actually will print according to what the logical operators we have given and the parameters that we have passed. So I forgot your age. So let's run the program. Wow, qualified because our age is between the range of 18 and 25. So that's actually very requiring, very interesting. Sorry, yeah, that's very interesting about this. So it allows us to compare between ranges. That's the comparison operators. So that was something very cool. So I want you to write a program. So let's say we want to first, I want you to write a program that will actually calculate or give marks to a student. So if the marks are 80, then I give an excellent. Then between maybe like 80 and 50, you give a pass. Then from below 50, so that should be 49, below 49. Okay, cool. Below 50, let's give a poor credit. So write the program and I'll see you in the next class.